going, keep going. You're doing good.
All right.
Just coming down.
Pull the power back.
Pull back, pull back, pull back.
Oh my goodness.
Go around, go around, go around. All right, and you can turn the carb heat off. We're good to go.
All right, so take off. Make sure is best power. Carb heat is off.
Keep your feet on the pedals for me a second here.
Doors, windows. We'll
I
get
just want to
those
make
in a
sure we're getting good oil pressure here. Okay. All right, you ready?
I'm ready. So time is 7:09.
Yep, we land it. Come back here at 8:30.
All right, so this one's a little bit different than the one we've been using. So our airspeed is going to be on the inside. Is that correct?
That is correct. We're still using the inner ring.
Yeah, but
on
we're
this
going to
one.
go 65 instead of 60.
Everything is, so we're going to rotate. We have been rotating it close to 60 knots before because of the gust. The actual rotate speed is about 55 knots. So let's rotate at 55. Just gently pull it up, and then we're going to climb at 65 for VX and 75 for VY. Let's climb at VY today. We don't need VX right now.
So we're going to climb at 75.
Yep.
Okay. Ready to go?
I'm ready.
All right.
The landing light was already on. It's good. We're good to go. Check final. Make sure we're clear.
I made a boo-boo. We did not check flight controls. So that was my fault completely.
Yep. And we also did not check the brakes.
And so we have an issue because my iPad's in the way.
Just go back one click, see if that helps you.
One.
You may not be able to do one click.
Did it work? I think that'll work.
Okay.
That was my fault because I did not check flight controls.
That's okay. You're catching it. You're catching your mistakes. This thing's just like that.
So check your controls.
All right, my controls are good. I've already checked my brakes.
I'm going to have to come back up one click.
Okay.
I'm going to reach the brakes.
If you have to set your iPad down, you can do that too.
Yeah, I may have to, especially like on takeoff.
Hit it when you need it.
Or do we need to call and tell them we're ready for takeoff?
Call and let them know we're taking off 2-3. Check over there.
Okay. North Little Rock, this is 123 Juliet Charlie. We're ready for takeoff. North Little Rock.
Let's do it. Final's clear. And I know you're clearing, but just be really vocal with me. So I know your final's clear.
Okay. All right, final's clear.
Cool. We do have a little bit of a left to right crosswind, so we'll get the aileron down for this takeoff on the left-hand side.
Okay.
Other way.
Okay. We're good to go?
Ready.
All right, power coming in. Power's good.
Left wing down. Oil pressure's in the green. Airspeed's coming alive.
All right. Need to rotate.
Rotate. Very good.
Okay. And this one does climb a lot better.
Yeah, she's got a little bit more oomph with that climb prop on her.
Yeah. That's a lot better.
Okay, we are safely airborne.
Okay.
So what should we do once we're safely
Make sure
airborne?
we should do our after takeoff checklist. So we need to turn our fuel pump off.
And check over here when you do that. Check your fuel press. Make sure.
Okay.
See how it didn't really drop too much, so we're good.
Okay.
And turn your landing light off.
Okay, landing lights are off.
Flaps are up.
Okay, flaps are up.
After takeoff checklist is complete.
All right. So we need to make our turn to the.
Yeah, we're
west.
already kind of pointed in the right direction.
Okay.
That mountain over there is a perfect thing to point towards. That
Okay.
really, it's Mount Pinnacle is what it is. But you can kind of head that direction. And I am ready to take the controls.
Okay. Your controls?
My controls. Throw those puppies on for me. My controls.
I may have to lose the hat.
If you gotta lose it, you gotta lose it.
Okay. You still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Okay.
All right, you ready to take back over?
I am ready.
Your controls.
My controls?
Your controls. You can still continue to climb up to,
There we go.
just continue it up to 1800, I guess. Okay. I'm watching the airfield over here. I've got Camp Robinson.
Okay.
I don't see any traffic. Camp Robinson, Cherokee 123 Juliet Charlie, 2 miles to the south, 1,200, continuing to the west, Camp Robinson. North Little Rock traffic, Cherokee 123 Juliet Charlie, departing the airspace to the west, 1,400, climbing 1,800, North Little Rock. Okay. I'll be Little Rock Approach.
Okay.
And you call me up and tell me you want to go to Conway.
Okay.
Just before we do that, Cherokee 123 Juliet Charlie, turn right heading 330.
Oh, right heading 330, Little Rock Approach.
Cherokee 123 Juliet Charlie. All right, so we're about 3 miles to the west of North Little Rock.
Okay, 2 miles northwest.
And tell me where you are, how high you are,
okay,
and where you want to go. You want to go to Conway.
Little Rock Approach, this is 123 Juliet Charlie. We are at 1,800 feet and 2.5 miles southwest of Conway. Little Rock Approach.
Say 123 Juliet Charlie at the end.
Two,
I know
three.
it's confusing because we're using CTAF calls right now, but you always want to end with your call sign. Okay, Cherokee 123 Juliet Charlie, squawk 0112, altimeter 3001.
So I missed that one. So Little Rock Approach, repeat.
Just say again. Say again.
Again, okay.
0123, altimeter 3001.
All right, altimeter, Little Rock Approach 123 Juliet Charlie, altimeter 330, squawk.
Turn left, turn left. There's a restricted area over here. 330 is the heading I gave you.
I wasn't paying attention.
You're good. All right, let's start all over.
Okay.
We're about 5 miles to the northwest of North Little Rock at 2,200, climbing up to 2,500. All right, keep this heading for me. Keep primarily looking at here and taking quick glances at your altitude. This is the way a six-pack should look. This should be your primary instrument right here.
Right.
Take quick glances over here, then back to here. Take quick glance down here, then back to here. Let's climb up to 2,500.
All right. Little Rock approached. This is 123 Juliet Charlie. Coming to 2,500. 5 nautical miles to the north of Little Rock.
Cherokee 123 Juliet Charlie. Squawk 0112, altimeter 3001.
Squawk 012, altimeter 330, north Cherokee 123 Juliet Charlie.
0112, altimeter 3001.
Little Rock approach. Say again. I'm trying to hold my heading and I'm struggling.
Yeah,
terribly
that's okay.
bad. So
I'm intentionally trying to overload you here, so let's take a step back.
Okay.
I want you to focus on this for now.
I'm struggling with that. For
Cherokee
sure.
123 Juliet Charlie. Fly heading 330. Maintain 2,500.
All right.
So pull that power back just a little bit because she's going to try to climb on you. Now you're over controlling the airplane is what you're doing,
Okay.
so take really gentle controls. All you just need fingertips. That's all you need. Just back off to your fingertips. Nose the airplane down a little bit.
Okay.
And just gentle controls. It's really hazy today. All right, Cherokee 123 Juliet Charlie, turn left heading 270.
All right. Cherokee 123 Juliet Charlie, turn left heading 270.
Okay, now what I want you to do is maintain this heading.
Okay.
For just a minute here. Oh, visibility is really bad, but it's really smooth today.
It is.
One thing you get with bad visibility a lot of times is smooth. Cherokee 123 Juliet Charlie, descend and maintain 1,500.
Descend and maintain 1,500. Cherokee 123 Juliet Charlie.
Okay.
All right, so we need to back the power out.
Yeah, pull that power back and descend
Okay.
it. Okay, and I'm not actually going to let you continue the descent.
Okay.
Cherokee 123 Juliet Charlie, climb and maintain 3,000. Yeah.
All right. Cherokee 123 Juliet Charlie, climb and maintain 3,000.
Let's see. I do see an airplane over here. He is no factor. Just level off for me right here for a second. He's about 2,000 feet above us.
Okay. It's really good for me, but it's like a new tail number. The sun's in my eyes, and I got the glasses on, and it's like new challenges I haven't had to deal with before.
Yeah.
So, but it's good for me. So.
Yeah, and so that's the thing. Like, you can't just get used to flying one airplane because once you get your private pilot's license, you're going to be flying multiple. You can fly multiple different airplanes.
Right.
You need to be prepared to fly different things. Okay, Cherokee 123 Juliet Charlie, turn right heading 270, climb and maintain 3,000.
All right. Turn right 270, and climb and maintain 3,000. Cherokee 123 Juliet Charlie.
Good.
They're right.
Clear. Okay, continue that climb up. Okay, I've got the controls.
Your controls.
My controls. All right, so one thing I want you to remember, you can go ahead and take those off.
Okay.
When I ask you to climb,
Okay.
you know, we were chilling at like 85 knots there. You know, pitch up and bleed that
So,
airspeed
so
out.
our power is not all the way in currently.
Okay, so that's another thing. You also want to climb at full power, so you still have the controls. We're almost there, so a little bit more power is not going to really help us too much.
Okay.
But, yeah,
It's like when we descended a while ago, I pulled the power back a little bit, and I didn't put all of it back in.
Yeah, so anytime you climb, you need to put that power all the way in. You always want to climb at full power because, I mean, the only time you wouldn't is if you were in like a pretty high-powered airplane and you didn't need the power. But even in that case, most of the time you still want to use full power in those airplanes. You ready to take back over?
I'm ready.
Your controls.
The controls?
Your controls. I trimmed it up there for you a little bit. Okay, so first thing on our list today is clearing turns. We need to make sure we clear the area. So give me a couple good clearing turns. And you can see it's difficult to see today.
Right.
And in haves like this, something to be cognizant of is if you see an airplane, they're going to be closer than you think they are.
Okay. So clear right?
Clear. So if you start a clearing turn to the right, you're kind of forcing me to do a lot of the clearing for you, which is fine. So I would turn more than 90 degrees if you're doing that.
All right.
And then back to the
left. All right. Clear left.
Roger. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do unusual attitudes. And what I'm going to have you do is we're going to simulate that you just lost, you like maybe fell asleep at the wheel or something, or you reached down to get a pin and you look up and something crazy just happened. So notice how hazy it is today. It's going to be kind of difficult to tell. So you also want to look outside, but you also want to look down here at your ADI to kind of back yourself up because you can't really see a horizon too well.
Right.
Remember what we talked about in the briefing before this is that what to do. If we're nose high, we want to pitch down first and then roll out. If we're nose low, roll out and then pitch up. And that keeps you from getting negative G's on the aircraft if you're high. And you'll obviously use power at the same time. My controls.
Your controls?
My controls. I want you to look down, and when I say your controls, I want you to make a decision on what we need to do. I'm still clearing out here. So close your eyes, look down. And when I say your controls...
Camp route traffic, flight 26, single York 60 be taken off, golf pad, parallel runway 22 for right downwind departure for the reservation. Camp routes.
All right, your controls.
My controls?
Not too bad. I would roll out first. And in this case, we were nose low. Look at our airspeed.
Okay.
So I'd pull that power back at the same time you're rolling out and then nose up. All right, my controls again, but not too bad. I'm going to pull that trim out a little bit here.
Can I do it again?
My controls. Close your eyes, point down. Oh, let's make it difficult on you. All right, your controls.
My controls?
Your controls. Not too bad. See, so the problem with, it's kind of hard to do it in these airplanes because they're very stable, and so they almost go back to the position they need to go. We were nose high, but the airplane kind of sank as you took the controls. All right, my controls.
Your controls?
My controls. All right, heads down.
Yep.
All right, your controls.
My controls?
Good. That was perfect. There's no rush unless you're close to the ground. Identify your position. My controls.
Your controls?
My controls. I'm going to turn us away from Conway here. We're a little ways away, but I just want to get away from them.
So I did that right. We
roll out first and then nose up, and power as needed. In that situation, we weren't super slow, but we used the power. All right, close your eyes. We're going to make this one difficult for you here. Keep looking down, keep looking down, keep looking down. All right, your controls.
My controls.
Less power in a dive like this, less power. Roll out first and then up. Good. Recognize, confirm, recover if you want to use that. Recognize you're low, confirm with this, recover by rolling out. We take the power out and nose low. All right.
So when you're nose down like that, don't put power in until you roll out.
I wouldn't even put power in unless you need the power. Some situations you might be slow, so you might need the power. But we didn't need the power. We were fast. So, all right, you're flying, by the way.
Okay, my
So
controls.
All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do steep turns. So I haven't really demoed this one too much. We talked about it a little bit the other day. Get us up to 3,000 feet, and I'll demo a steep turn. Have you watched my video on steep turns?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm just going to do one turn in one direction, but you're going to do a turn in each direction.
Okay.
My controls.
Your controls?
My controls. I'm going to point us south here. We're still quite a ways from Conway, but I want to get even farther away. All right, so what I'm going to do to get us set up here is I want to fly. We'll see what our airspeed gets up to real quick, but seatbelts on. Fuel selector valve. Right, left tank's fine. I'm going to get us up to 3,000 on a southbound heading. We'll reslave the heading once we get kind of set up. I'm going to get the airplane trimmed up for level flight. 3,000 feet, maybe just a little bit more nose up. This one doesn't have an indication which way to go. Let's see what we can get with this airspeed right here. Let's just use, let's use 90 knots. Let me get up to airspeed.
Okay.
And just take your time getting set up for this maneuver. There's no time limit, but if you're set up perfectly, then that's going to be a lot easier. We're getting a little high. You got to make sure you stay within 100 feet, within 10 knots of your airspeed. And then, okay, so we'll start pulling that power back a little bit. Keep us at 90 knots. Little nose down. And so what you want to do is you want to pick a power setting. So it looks like 2,300 roughly, just keeping 90 knots. But when we start the turn, we need to put like in a bump of power, like 100 RPMs. So clear left.
Clear left.
I'm going to put in a bump of power, and I'm going to start gentle. And then I'm going to roll into this turn, and then I'm going to start pulling back on the yoke.
Okay.
And so now, I got a little slow there. Probably need a little bit more power. I lost a little bit RPM there. So now I'm staying coordinated, dragging that spinner across the horizon, and it's a little bit difficult to see. I'm keeping that, keeping it right on the 45, which is between those two hash marks.
Okay. And
then we're looking for our heading, which is south. And about 20 degrees to roll out, we start rolling out. And I lost a little bit of altitude there. I got flustered because I lost airspeed for some reason. Let me try that one more time here. Okay, one more time here. Actually, I'll just do one to the right.
Okay.
All right, so I'll make my turn to the right. And so when you're turning like this, it just takes a little bit of left rudder pressure if you're turning left, but it takes quite a bit of rudder pressure if you're making a right turn. So let's see, a little bit more airspeed here. All right, so clear right. I'll start my turn. I'll put in a bump of power here. And coordinated with a little bit of right rudder. 45 degrees. Neutralize the ailerons to keep us from continuing to descend. Or we climbed a little bit, but let's keep it here. And coordinated. Mainly looking outside with quick glances inside. We're staying at 90 knots there. I may be getting a little out of my bank. I'm controlling my altitude with bank primarily. And it only takes like 2 degrees of bank. So there's my rollout, about 20 degrees till. And I can take that bump of power right back out.
So we're making a full 360 degree turn.
Making a full 360 degree turn. When you're ready,
okay.
I'm going to hand it to you.
Okay.
Your controls.
My controls.
So just between the 30 and the 60, we want to stay right in the middle of there, and we're controlling our altitude with bank. We're controlling our airspeed with how quickly we're pulling back on the yoke, but we need a little bit of G so we don't sink.
Okay. All right. So clear left.
Roger.
So when you said when we go left, we're gonna need a right rudder pressure. Is that what you said?
So when you turn left, you won't need much left.
Okay.
Because of the because of the left turning tendencies.
Okay. All right. So clear left.
And put in a tiny little bit of power as you turn.
Okay.
Roger, clear. Pull back on that yoke. Not quite so much bank pull back. We're descending. And it's going to be more difficult today with there's not much of a discernible horizon.
Okay.
But primarily looking outside. Pull back just a little bit. Pull back a little more.
Okay.
Roll out just a little bit. And right here, start the rollout.
Okay.
Okay, not too bad for a first time. So level off and come back right.
All right.
Try to keep it at your altitude right here now. We're at 2,700, so continue the turn all the way back around to south.
Okay, clear right.
Clear. I don't want you to really mess around with the power too much, so just you can go ahead and take your hand off that and just primarily focus outside. See how we're descending?
Yeah, so I need to pull back.
See how low the nose is?
Yeah.
Pull that nose back up. I just kind of gently bring it over here and just drag it across the horizon like that. See how that's a little bit different than what you're doing?
Yeah, that's a lot different.
So 20 degrees to roll out, so roll out. And as you're rolling out, you need left rudder to counteract the right there.
Okay.
All right, so give me one more to the left.
Okay.
Clear left, and we'll move on.
All right.
This one's it's just difficult in the beginning, so you'll get the hang of it.
All right, so we want to go back up?
Stay at this altitude right here and clear left. Come back all the way back around to south.
All right, clear left.
Roger. Now watch your bank here at 60 degrees. Roll out just a little bit. Go between those two hash marks and pull back a little bit. But because you went too far, we descended way down.
Too fast. Yeah.
That caused us to roll off and continue down. When you hit 45, another thing you should do is neutralize the ailerons by going opposite for just a quick second.
So I lost a lot of altitude right there.
Yeah. So in addition to, if you don't neutralize the ailerons, another thing that happens, my controls for a second. Another thing that happens is the airplane has a tendency to continue the roll. Oh, I can't remember what it's called, but there's another reason why, the overbanking tendency. And you can look that up when we get back, but you also have the overbanking tendency. I just want to show like a half a turn here. We get my power back up, and just 85 is what we'll stay at. We'll stay at this altitude. But when you roll into this bank right here, I'm putting a left rudder in, but as soon as you do that, neutralize and then pull back here, and keep that nose right on the horizon like that. And our ailerons are kind of level right there at that point. And then we're done there. I just wanted to show you getting into it.
Yeah. I think after doing it the first time, I think next time we'll be back, because I was trying to maintain altitude and the bank angle at the same time, and obviously get about two things at once. So.
Yeah. Okay. I'm climbing us back up here. You ready to take over?
Sure.
All right, your controls.
Controls.
Continue to climb at 75 knots up to 3,000. Let's go ahead and do slow flight.
Okay.
So continue climbing at this direction right here. And we are already in the wide arc. So I tell you what, let's do. We are kind of set up for slow flight. Let's go ahead and lower those flaps. We're in the wide arc.
All three flat, all low.
I know it seems kind of backwards, but we're already at a low airspeed. But as you do that, kind of pitch the nose over. That way we don't lose too much airspeed. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
And you know what? Let's just stay here at 2,500.
Okay.
So, all right. So run through your checklist for me.
All right. So our pre-landing checklist.
Yep.
All right. So left tank. There we go. Fuel pump. When you put the fuel pump on.
Yep, turn the fuel pump on.
Okay. Fuel pump's on. Carb heat is off. Picture seatbelt power. Seatbelts are on. And I think we're good to go.
Okay, so I tell you what, give me a turn to the north in this configuration right here.
Okay.
Now, first of all, we need to, before we get started, we're not quite there yet, we need to fly at the bottom of the wide arc. Because what the bottom of the wide arc indicates is our stall speed in the landing configuration. So
when you say bottom, you're talking about this end?
The bottom of the wide arc. Okay. So what I want you to do is, we still got 300 feet to level off, so pitch up and bleed that airspeed off. As you turn to the north there, clear.
Clear left.
Clear. So pitch up and get a little bit slower. As we also can practice slow flight, we can also climb in slow flight. But as we reach our airspeed, we're actually getting into the back of the drag curve. And what that means is, once you get close to your airspeed, you actually use power for altitude and pitch for airspeed.
Okay.
And we'll talk about that on the ground later, why that is the case. But in slow flight, you pitch for airspeed and power for altitude, just like you do when landing. Pitch up just a little bit to bleed the rest of that airspeed off.
Okay.
And now we're getting close to our altitude, right?
Right.
So pull that power back a tiny bit so we don't shoot past that. Not too much. That's pretty good right there. And I feel it looks like you need to trim. Do you need a trim?
I do.
All right. So pull. I don't know what to do on this one. Yeah, that's right.
Sure.
Are you getting a little fast?
Yep.
So pitch up for me. All right, so I tell you what, clear left and give me a left turn to 270. Just keep it at this altitude though. Watch your airspeed, watch your altitude.
Clear left, 270.
Roger. Be careful on the bank. You only need 5 to 15 degrees of bank in slow flight. Because remember, when we're level and we turn like that, we increase our stall speed. So it doesn't take much to stall the airplane if you do that. Not too bad. So give me a turn back to north.
Okay. All right, turning back to north, clear right.
Here. Pretty good.
It is a lot less. You don't have to give it as much in the slow flight as you do, like when we were doing the steep turns.
Yeah.
Wasn't out near as much.
Take a look at your ball.
Okay.
And watch your heading, don't go past it.
Yep.
Go ahead and take us all the way to west.
Okay.
And let's go ahead and get set up for power off stalls. Let's do 1 or 2 power off stalls.
Okay.
Wait a second. Are we doing stalls today? I think we are.
Clear and left.
Roger. Yeah, let's do power off stalls real quick. All right, you ready to go?
Here we go. All right.
I'll tell you what, let's do. Let's continue to south because we have Conway over there and we'll track away from them for these stalls.
Clear left.
Roger.
Okay.
All right, so go ahead and give me a power off stall.
All right, so power off stall is going to be where we're in our landing
So we're
configuration.
already in the landing configuration.
Okay.
That's great about this. We won't be using carb heat today, so I tell you what, we're already basically set up. We're on southbound heading. So go ahead and pull that power back to idle and pitch for 60 knots.
Power to idle.
So we briefly pitch for 60 knots
Pitch for 60.
to simulate that we're landing. Come back to your southbound heading for me, though. We want to try to keep that heading.
Okay.
And then from here, once you hit 60, which you've already gone past it, pitch that nose up and just put it on the horizon. She will stall on the horizon. Okay. And just keep your heading here. Just don't forget to keep your heading. There's the first indication. We're waiting for the full stall. Keep the nose back.
Okay.
There's a second indication, full stall. Max, relax. First notch of flaps.
Notch of flaps.
Carb heat off. It's already off.
It's
So
off.
go ahead and touch it.
Okay.
Nose on the horizon.
Okay.
That's not too bad. Bring the nose down. We don't want to get into a secondary stall.
Okay.
Now we're just looking for a positive rate of climb. We got this to look at and we got this to look at. Well, that's telling us we're climbing. So second notch of flaps. Keep your heading. Make sure you're keeping your heading. It's harder today with the haze, so. And then we're looking for 70 knots and a positive rate of climb. So I see both.
Okay, so
Flaps up.
salt went down.
Flaps up after takeoff checklist is complete. I think that was pretty decent. Let's move on to power on stalls. Give me a power on stall.
So power on stall is going to be full power, and then we're going to put the cowling on the horizon.
Okay.
Well,
It's going to be these crotches.
right.
These Lindbergh references, as some people like to say, but we'll put these on the horizon. It's going to be difficult to see in this plane. I'll kind of guide you today with the haze.
Okay. So do we want to?
North traffic Cherokee 348 Juliet is crossing runway 1735 at Charlie Northwest.
So do we want to go ahead and pull the power out before we put it on the horizon, or we want to put it on the horizon and then pull power?
Pull the power out to bleed off the airspeed. And the only reason we're doing that is because it makes it easier.
Okay.
We'll get to our rotate speed of 55 knots, push the power in, and pitch up at the same time. Really stay focused on being coordinated today.
Okay.
All right, get you on a southbound heading. I'll kind of talk you through it. I know it's been a month since we've done this.
So say that again though. So we're going to pull the power back, and we're going to put it on 55 knots, and then we're going to put it on the horizon.
Yep, or we're going to put these crotches on the horizon at the same time. So get us on a southbound heading.
Okay.
All right, pull the power back just a minute. I'll talk you through it. Don't worry. All right,
So power's
southbound
coming
heading.
to idle.
Up as that airspeed starts. Keep the nose up. We're trying to bleed that airspeed off on purpose.
Okay.
All right, there's the first indication. All right, go ahead and start feeding that power in.
Okay.
And let's keep this heading right here.
Power's
Full
coming.
power, full
Full
power.
power.
Yep, full power and pitch up at the same time.
Okay. Chin up.
Juliet is clear.
Right there. So right here, just keep her here,
Okay.
and she will stall. Notice I've got some right rudder in there for you.
Okay.
Just keep her here. There's the first indication. We've got some wing buffeting.
Okay.
Now see, these Cherokees do something weird where it kind of bounces. That's a stall, so break it for me. Max, relax, roll.
Okay.
Max, relax, roll out if you're in a roll. So that's the thing about Cherokees is they're kind of hard to stall.
Roll.
But when it does that weird kind of porpoising thing, that is a stall.
Roll.
So break it and then max, relax, roll out if it does that.
Okay.
So just to keep that in mind, because in a Cessna, she'll drop and then it's pretty obvious, but in a Cherokee, it doesn't really do that. So
Okay.
Just
Can we do that again? Do we have time to do one more?
Yeah, give me another one of those.
Okay. All right, so we're going to stay southbound, pull the power all the way out to bleed off our airspeed, maintain our... All right, so there's 55. Going to put the power back in. Pull power back in.
Yep.
All right. We're going to pitch up.
Right here's good enough.
Okay.
Fuel stall right here. Right rudder.
Right rudder. All right. We're going to brake it.
And continue down. There you go. That's pretty good.
All right.
Now in this case, like where it's really hazy, you kind of have to make sure that you're in like braking the stall, pitch down a little bit. That's pretty good.
Okay. I did better at maintaining my heading that time. That was a lot better at maintaining the heading.
You have to maintain it within 10 degrees, one way and one way, so just keep that in mind.
Okay.
I think you broke it there in the beginning, but it's just going to take some getting used to because what's happening is when we get slow, controls, you don't have very much control authority, so that was pretty decent. All right, so the next thing I believe is emergency descent.
Okay.
Okay.
North Little Rock traffic, Sirius 638 Charlie Delta.
All right, you just lost your engine, now what?
Okay. All right, so we are going to pitch for 69 knots.
Yep.
So, all right, so power's out, pitching for 69. We're going to find a place to land. There looks like a good spot right down here. Maybe too close to us.
Yeah, so stay near it. You don't have to drive, away from it. Just kind of stay near it and get yourself set up to land into the wind.
Okay.
You can kind of go that way and come back to it. So continue your procedures here.
All right, so now we're going to check, make sure we're on left tank. So fuel pump is still on, and make sure it's still set to best power. Carb heat is off. Primer is in and locked.
Continue what you're doing here.
Okay.
Yeah, so primer's in and locked. So just go around there, fuel pump on,
Fuel pump's on.
and then make sure your mixture is best power.
Yep.
Okay, so now at this point, what would you do?
So,
You've got plenty of time. If you didn't have plenty of time, you just land. Forget ATC. Forget emergencies. Just land the airplane and be safe,
Right.
But if you have time, let's make the radio call. What else do we do?
Squawk 7700
Yep.
and go to 1.21. 1.21.
121.5.
121.5.
I'm not going to do that. I'm just working on this other one.
Okay.
Right downwind for 23 North Little Rock.
Okay. Just going towards there, and give me a simulated radio call. What would that radio call sound like?
Mayday, mayday, mayday. We have 2 souls on board. We've lost our engine. Going to land in a field just south of the Arkansas River.
I think this is Maumelle, but
Maumelle.
that's okay.
Okay.
I guess the Arkansas forms Maumelle, so hopefully they'll find us. Very good. Now, if you ever forget, just speak plain English. Hey, we're crashing in a field. There's 2 of us. I don't know what else to say. Can help.
Right.
I like Cheetos. And then from here, what do we do? If we have time, what do we do?
So we're gonna turn our avionics off, turn the fuel pump off, gonna crack the door. And so originally I was going down here, but we're certainly too high for that.
Okay, well, set us up on something that's going to get us in those trees then. Just be safe here. So let's go ahead and go around.
Okay, go around.
Just because the visibility is kind of poor. Roger. Carb heat, flaps. The visibility is kind of poor today, so I just don't want to get any lower.
Right.
All right, so my controls.
Controls?
My controls. Talk me through the rest of what you would do after you make the radio call.
So after I made the radio call and we seen we were going to make our landing spot, which I didn't pick a real good one, or should have drove it out a little bit further before I turned back to it, but we would have cracked the door, turned off our fuel pump, turned off our avionics, made sure that our passengers had our seatbelts on, and then did our best to land the plane.
Good. Once again, if I don't have time to do that, I don't have time to do that. I'm mostly focused on trying to make a safe landing. And once again, if you're not going to make the field that you're going to make, land straight ahead, wherever is the safest looking place, because there's nothing worse than trying to stretch out your glide,
right,
and then you stall before your landing spot. So just do what you think is safe, and if it's safe to change, then we change. Let's see, we don't really have time. I'm gonna do one turnaround point so you can just kind of see it.
Okay.
We talked about it in the briefing, but go ahead and get us set up to go to Conway. But this is the right frequency. Get the weather for us over there.
Okay. So is it gonna be this same as
this is the actual frequency. So switch it over there for us. So switch here. I've already given you the frequency.
Oh, okay.
And now we want to get the weather, so find the weather frequency for over there.
To find this weather frequency over here?
Oh, find the weather frequency on your iPad.
Okay. For Conway.
Yep. I'm just kind of driving us over here to get us set up for one turn around the point so you can kind of see it. And then we'll go over to Conway.
All right, the weather is 118.775. We'll put it in right here.
Yep, put it in. So first of all, this one's weird. You push this button, change the frequency,
Okay.
and now you adjust it.
5. Okay, so weather is set up there. On Conway Regional. Is this the Arkansas River?
This is Lake Maumelle.
Okay. So okay.
That's okay. Let's use this water tower over here.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the frequency. To get it swapped over, see this little swapper button?
Right.
Now we're on that.
Okay.
Now to listen to it, we'll come over here.
0. Conway, Dennis F. Cantrell, Field Airport. Automated weather observation 0, 0, 5, 5, Zulu. Wind 180 at 6 knots. Visibility 3. Haze. Sky condition clear below 12,000. Temperature 3.2 Celsius. Dew point 2.2 Celsius. Altimeter 3.0 inches of mercury. Remarks. Density.
Okay, that's enough. We need to do this turn around a point. We'll do one landing over there and then we'll come back. We don't really have time for anything else.
Okay.
We don't really have time for anything else. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to be 600 to 1,000 feet AGL. So that's roughly 1,200 feet around here. I'm going to get down to 1,200. So the winds are kind of coming out of the south, so we want to enter with the wind. And so I'm going to be using this water tower right here as my turnaround point. And I'm not really going to use reference points to fly over today. I'm just going to use my oblong method that I kind of mentioned in the briefing, and I'm going to make a video on that hopefully in the next couple months. It just takes a little bit. But I think I'm going to fly this at 90 knots, so we'll set a good power setting, which is roughly 2,400 RPM, and we'll just kind of make 2 turns, and we'll depart in the same direction. I don't see any other towers or anything. There's one way over there, but we'll be way away from it.
Okay.
All right, somebody's over at Conway. We'll make sure we give them a call before we head over there. All right, so about a quarter to half a mile away from our point is where we want to enter. We want to enter with the wind. We're just kind of enter on a northbound heading. If you had like a road system or something to follow, we'd use that. So 1,200 feet. 1,200 feet is what we're looking for here. We'll just keep it here. But remember, we're getting pushed. So that means 2 things. We're getting pushed, and also our ground speed's faster. So this is the steepest part of our maneuver as our wing passes that. So let's bank up to like 30, 45 degrees, somewhere in there. And low wings are great because you can kind of see what they're giving you, and you can kind of see our distance from that point. And so you can kind of see our ground track, what we're doing here. And as we reach perpendicular here, we kind of level off or roll out just a little bit, and then we continue that turn around. Now at this point, somewhere in here, we're going to start driving into the wind. I'm losing a little bit of airspeed. I'm going to put a bump of power in. And so we kind of need to not use quite as much bank. You can see because we're getting pushed. We're getting pushed away. And now we're driving into the wind, and it's almost like we're driving and we're kind of straight and level for a second, but we're just lessening our bank here. And so now to make our ground track the same, we just need light corrections here, light corrections. And as we kind of get sideways, we're going to get pushed again, so then we need to go back into making a little bit tighter turn. All right, so somewhere right in here, we're starting to get pushed, and so I'm tightening the turn back up.
Gotcha. To maintain the same distance from the water tower.
Exactly.
Right.
And you can use bank to just make the corrections that you need. And as you pass your point, if this is the end of the maneuver, which you'd usually do like 2 or 3 turns, you roll out wings level here after you're done. But I'm just going to make this the end because we don't have a lot of time.
Okay.
So I'll just roll out wings level here. We're right at 1,200 feet, a little less. Also a little altitude there. It's difficult for me to see the altimeter, but I like to make excuses. But you kind of get to see it. Next time we'll hopefully get to you to do that. We just don't have a ton of time.
Right.
Traffic, Skyline 42 Golf is base 22 Conway.
All right, so they're flying 22 over there. You ready to take over?
I am.
All right, your controls.
My controls?
Your controls. They are flying 22 like we predicted. So go ahead and give me a radio call. We're 7.6 miles to the southeast. So call them up and tell them we're headed in.
Okay. You said to the east?
Southeast.
Southeast. Right.
and our altitude.
And it's Conway Regional?
Conway traffic.
Conway traffic. Conway traffic, this is 123 Juliet Charlie. We are at 1,300 feet, 7.2 miles to the southeast, inbound runway 22. Conway traffic.
Good.
Conway traffic, Skyhawk 42 Golf is final 22, touch and go, remain in the pattern.
Okay, so he might be a little bit of a conflict. We just need to pay attention for him. Because by the time he does a touch and go, he might be coming close to us.
Okay.
Yeah, so 1,300 is a good pattern altitude here.
Okay. Wait, so do we want to maintain that then? We can pull it back and maintain 1300?
You can go ahead and descend and maintain
Okay.
1,300. Now, use this thing to your advantage. We already put Conway in there, but the line's all messed up, and that's because this is an IFR GPS, and so it doesn't redraw the line for you automatically. You have to hit direct enter again or direct enter for it to redraw the purple line.
Gotcha.
I can see the airport right there, and so it took a minute for it to calculate, but it realizes, basically straight ahead there.
Gotcha. So we're going to enter in. We're going to enter on the downwind.
Yeah, we're going to enter downwind, and then we're just going to make one pattern.
Okay.
One pattern, and we'll make one back there as well.
Okay. So do we need to make a call at 5 miles, or
yeah, you can go ahead and make another call if you want. We just made one, but that's.
I just didn't know if it
5 is not required. 10 is required, and downwind base final. Those
Okay.
are required.
Okay.
And taxiing actually, but.
Okay.
You may make one at 3, just because this guy is landing and I don't know where he is. I can't see him yet. And you can always speak plain English to these guys, and I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about. Landing traffic. Where are you guys right now? We're about 3 miles to the east.
Conway traffic, Skyhawk 7842 Golf on the upwind leg 22, Conway.
Roger, we're about to enter downwind right now, and if you don't mind following behind us.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, we'll fall behind you. Still looking out for you, though.
Thank you. And it's just like that, just talk to these guys, work together. Everyone's a team out here because nobody wants to run into somebody else.
Sure.
Go ahead and you can.
Conway traffic, I got you inside.
Awesome. Still don't see you yet, but we'll watch out for you here. And you can start running your checklist. Keep an eye out for him.
Okay. All right. So fuel pump still on. Carb heat's off. Fuel pump set best power. Seat belts. Make sure our primer is in and locked. Fuel pump's on the left tank. All right, so do the rest in a minute. So when do we need to start making our turn to be parallel with the runway?
Oh, I see him now. So I like to drive it in a little bit further. You can go ahead and make it if you want. Yeah,
Okay.
let's go ahead and turn and call downwind.
All right. Conway traffic 123 Juliet Charlie. We are downwind, runway 22. Conway traffic.
Back up for me a little bit.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out what you're trying to get me to. I thought you wanted me to say something different. So, all right. So we're gonna pull the power back to 1,700 RPMs.
And we're low, so just keep that in mind.
All right.
Just continue everything. I'll say carb heat staying off. Touch the carb heat.
Okay, carb heat off.
First notch of flaps.
First notch
Make sure we're in the wide arc.
of flaps. All right.
We're looking for 70, so you're fast.
Okay.
Keep your hand on the throttle when we're down lower like this. Always keep your hand on the throttle.
Okay.
Conway traffic, Skyhawk 42 Golf is
All right,
down.
so we're ready
Left
to
to
make
runway? Yeah, clear left.
Clear left.
Looking for 70 knots. And this is a little long, but that's okay. Go ahead and
Okay.
lower that second
Notch of
notch.
flaps. All right. So
Pull that power, third notch.
third notch.
Conway traffic, Cherokee 123 Juliet Charlie turning final, 22 Conway. All right, fix your airspeed first, so pitch up.
Pitch up.
Get us down to 80 knots. Yeah, get us down to 60 knots. And then, yeah, there you go. So nose down, nose down. Little power, little power, little power, little power, little power. Feel a sinking, put
Yep,
more
yep,
power in,
yep,
fix it. You can always pull it back
Back out.
Push that power in. Power, power, power.
Okay.
Now look at our airspeed. Nose up.
Nose up.
All right, just gentle corrections now.
Okay. We pull the power back out.
Yep.
Chin for 60 still.
Up, nose down gently.
Okay.
We'll put a little power in, just a little. Power, 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 power. Keep going. You're doing good.
All right.
Just coming down.
Pull the power back.
Pull back, pull back, pull back.
Oh my
Go
goodness.
around, go around, go around. Pull back, pull back, pull back.
Oh my
Go
goodness.
around, go around, go around. Thought you're going to pull enough.
Conway traffic,
RP,
Skyhawk 42 Golf is
flaps.
turning.
RP,
Base
flaps.
22, Conway.
RP, flaps.
All right, we're. You go. Sorry, that was my fault. We were sinking a lot faster than I thought.
Okay, my controls.
Your controls?
My controls. Okay. I intentionally tried not to touch the controls because I don't like to do that in the first couple lessons, but
Right.
because there's no value in it, but let's do one more here.
Okay.
Everything was perfect until the flare.
Yeah.
We just
Conway
didn't
traffic,
flare
Golf
enough, that's
42
all.
Golf
Okay.
We
is
just didn't pull back.
Final 22, Conway.
We just didn't pull back quite enough. As we started to do, you got slow, and then we started sinking really fast. But when you're sinking really fast, it takes a faster flare. That's all.
So when we were sinking fast like that, should I put in a touch more power to glide us down the runway just a little bit further, or no?
In that situation, you didn't need power, but that is an option. You didn't need it, though. You just needed to flare more. That's all.
Okay.
So it just took a little bit more aggressive on the flare. I've seen way worse landings, man. I really didn't touch the controls. I don't think I touched them at all because I wanted you to get one on your own.
Yeah.
Because we need to start getting you where you're doing it on your own. Let's
Right.
get a good one this time.
Yeah. Everything else felt good except for the touchdown.
I'm telling you, I'm going to cut this tight because we're running low on time. I want to get us back before it gets dark here. I'm going to get you all the way down on final,
Okay.
and then I'm going to hand it off to you, and then we'll head straight back. Civil twilight ends at 8:45. Conway traffic, Cherokee 123, Juliet Charlie. Left downwind 22, Conway. Your seatbelts on. Fuel selector left, tank's good.
Fuel pumps
Fuel
on.
pumps on. Landing and taxi lights on. We'll get the rest to beam the numbers. We're a little low, that's okay. I turned early because we don't have a ton of time right now. Yeah, so all we need to do is be a tiny bit more aggressive in the flare. If you sink, if we're
Right.
floating, what you did right there is just fine. All right, in the wide arc. First notch your flaps. Carb heat staying on.
Conway traffic, Skyhawk 42 Golf is clear the runway. Conway.
And part of the problem is you're kind of jockeying the controls a little bit, and just small corrections is really all you need. I'm looking for 70, second notch. Conway traffic, Cherokee 123, Juliet Charlie, left base 22, Conway. Okay, we're high. Lower all the flaps.
Okay.
Conway traffic, Cherokee 123, Juliet Charlie, base to final, 22, Conway. Are you about ready to take over?
I'm ready.
Okay, give me 1 second here. Let me get you stable. I'm going to slip us here, put us down. We can slip with full flaps in a Cherokee. That's one thing I love about these. Okay, I'm going to get you set up here. You put your hands on the controls. Get ready to take over. All right, your controls.
My controls.
Your controls.
All right.
Your controls.
My controls. All right. Pitching for
Go for 60. Nose down, nose down, nose down. There you go. Start feeding that power in.
Okay.
Power, power, power. Nose up just a touch. A little less power. Not quite so aggressive on the controls.
Okay.
A little more power. A little less power. Idle power. Right rudder. All right. Pull back, pull back, pull back. Not too much. Pull back, pull back, pull back. Pull back, pull back. All right. Touch and go procedures.
Okay.
Left wing down. Left wing
Left
down.
wing
We're
down.
getting blown over. That's why it's doing that. Left wing down.
Swing down.
Left wing down. Breath.
All right.
Flaps.
Flaps down. Repeat still off.
RP.
Power all the way in.
Good, man.
Okay. Airspeed is alive.
Low pressure's in the green. Rotate. Very good. Very good. High controls.
The controls.
That was very good, man. I know it doesn't seem like it's very good, but that was very good. You did that on your own.
It was
And that's what we're trying to get to right
Yeah.
now. You're just overly controlling the
Right.
airplane. That's all that's happening. You're just overly controlling the airplane. We did have a slight left to right crosswind. All right, flaps are up, fuel pumps off. We'll leave the landing lights on for just a little bit. I think I'm actually going to leave them on the rest of the way because it's so hazy and it's just kind of dark out here.
Yeah.
I'm still flying.
Skyhawk 42 Golf is departing 22 Conway, staying in the pattern.
Yeah, that flare is really hard because it's like when
It's a matter of feel is
Yeah.
when you...
Going
So,
to the west, Conway.
and Conway, Cherokee 123 Juliet Charlie, departing the airspace to the east, Conway. That was very good. I know it was rough, man, but it was fine. One of the things that was causing it to be rough is we had a crosswind, and so you didn't have quite enough crosswind controls in. And so when we landed, the airplane started doing this number.
Right.
You just got to get that wing down to keep us from getting blown
Right.
over like that.
So I guess when I was thinking down, I was heading at like 45 degrees. You were thinking like all the way.
So when you're on the ground, you're moving somewhat slower, so the controls are more mushy. That you don't have as much control authority, so you actually need almost everything. And
Yeah.
when it's windier, don't beat yourself up. That was a really good landing for. I mean, this is it's really lesson 3, but we had a pattern day.
Right.
Landing really 2 times on your own, and we're going to get one more when we get back. We got time here. We got plenty of time, so.
The first one was rough.
Really good.
The first one was rough.
It's fine. It's been a month since you flew,
It has.
and you did everything on your own. Guess what? What I think about in situations like that is, if emergency happened, and you were with somebody that was fully qualified, you could probably get us down.
Without killing us.
Yeah, without killing us. I mean, it may not be pretty,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
think you could do it.
Yeah.
Now we need to get from rough landings on your own
Yeah.
to smooth landings that I know for 100% fact I can send you solo.
Right. Yep.
And that's kind of the key today.
Yep.
And I was going to say this earlier, but as the airplane is sinking, you need to pull on the yoke at the same rate that the airplane is sinking. So at the same rate, we need to pull.
So I feel like when we're crossing the threshold, I feel like I'm high.
The reason probably you feel that way is because my aim point is a threshold, and so my flare is usually lower than yours. At this, we have plenty of runway, so don't worry about that too much.
Right.
When we start getting on short field landings, we'll be more concerned about that. As long as you think you're going to make the runway,
Right.
that's what I'm mostly concerned about right now.
So
If we float a little ways, we got plenty of runway at Conway.
so that's what I think that's what I was trying to do is let's let us float, but we just sank faster than I had accounted for, from my perspective. But I mean.
Yeah. So what happened was we're making really big control inputs.
Right.
And so you went to idle a little early, is what you did.
Okay.
And so, which is fine. You just have to be more aggressive when you do that. If you would have just, maybe not went to idle quite until we got a little closer, probably would have been. It would have been smoother.
Right.
Okay, so do me a favor, put in North Little Rock for me here, and
Right.
give me the weather, and let's make a radio call over to those guys.
So,
So direct. This is the bow and arrow.
okay. Let's see here. I know I know what I wanted to do, but it's making it.
It jumps kind of fast sometimes. Okay, I'll make a radio call since we're about 10 miles out. North Little Rock traffic, Cherokee 123 Juliet Charlie, 10 miles to the northwest, entering a right downwind for 23 North Little Rock.
Here again.
Okay, so we're where we need to be, but I don't like CDI mode because I'm not flying IFR stuff. So put this little button right here. It takes us to map mode,
Gotcha.
and now I can kind of fly that line. And
So we need to get the weather.
Give me the weather. Actually, it's already in here, so we
Okay.
just need to swap it.
Swap it.
Yep, swap it. And now we want to listen. That's transmit, so that's talk. So yep.
Pump 2.
North Little Rock Municipal Airport.
Automated weather observation 0116 Zulu. Wind 210 at 6 knots. Visibility more than 10. Sky condition clear below 12,000. Temperature 3.1 Celsius. Dew point 2.3 Celsius. Altimeter 3.0. 2 inches of mercury. Remarks. Density altitude 280.
Okay, are you ready to take over?
I am.
Okay, your controls.
The controls.
Your controls.
So, like, let's say there was an incident at North Little Rock, for instance, like there was an animal on the runway, or there had been an accident, or fill in the blank.
Yeah.
Would that be on the weather? Would that be updated quick enough, or how would we know this far out that there was something going on there?
I wouldn't trust it to be on there, but if it was on there, then I'd go somewhere else.
On the weather frequency.
A lot of times, small fields like this one, they will. This one's a little bit bigger small field, and take that for what it's worth. But this one probably would say something because you hear them say deer. If somebody's like manning that thing, they can go update it, but like some small fields won't update it. You might hear somebody on the CTAF come back to you and be like, hey, there's a crash on the runway. You might want to land somewhere else.
Gotcha. So you're going to make a radio call at 10 miles?
So I made one at 10.
Okay.
For your practice, you can make one at 5. And let's fly at 1700 so you can fly a little higher. So how are we going to get to this airport? What are we going to do?
So we're probably going to come in on the downwind leg, I would assume, just like we did in Conway, only on the right side of the airport.
For which runway?
For runway 23.
Yeah. So it would be a right downwind then. Very good.
So is that right there? Is that Air Force Base?
So,
is that the Air Force Base right here?
Hold on a second. Somebody's departing. So the Air Force Base is that beacon way over there, almost on the horizon, like at 11 o'clock.
Yep.
And you can see the strobe going right now.
Yep.
And this one in front of us off the nose is Camp Robinson.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, but I couldn't get it out.
North Little Rock is over here. I tell you what, let's do. Let's come back down to 1700. Let's make a 5-mile call.
Okay.
Just because of her, I don't know I couldn't hear where she was going. You can go ahead and call. Tell them you're 5 miles.
Charlie, Victor, help me.
North Little Rock traffic, this is Cherokee 123 Juliet Charlie. We are 5 miles to the west, inbound for runway 23 at 1700 feet, North Little Rock.
Good. I forget altitude too sometimes, but you want to include that, especially since...
Camp Robinson traffic, play 26, enter UH60, approximately 2 miles to the southeast, 1,000 feet.
1,000 feet.
To the northwest. Camp Robinson traffic.
Yeah, okay. So...
North Little Rock traffic, this is Cherokee 348 Juliet. I am turning crosswind of runway 23 North Little Rock.
Okay, she's turning crosswind.
North Little Rock area traffic, Centopria 31269er is taxiing Charlie to the run-up area at 23 North Little Rock.
Okay, so this guy is south of Camp Robinson. He's my biggest concern right now.
He's at 1,000 feet, I think.
She's going to be well out of our hair.
Is this Camp Robinson right here?
Yeah,
or
that's Camp Robinson
right
there. And Camp Robinson traffic, Cherokee 123 Juliet Charlie. We're about a mile to the south. Traffic on 1,000 miles. You guys see us?
Hey, firm, we have your side, play 26.
Roger, thank you. 1,000 miles, 1,000 feet.
Oh, he's right down here.
Play 26.
Yeah. We're good clear of him, but he's right down here too. But that may be a help.
Okay, we got you now. Thank you. Good. And that's the whole key with radios. You know, it's like, who's the biggest threat right now? He was. And Camp Robinson likes his crossing at 1,800 right here. So you can go ahead and head down to 1,600 pattern altitude.
North Little Rock traffic, this is 348 Juliet. I am turning base of runway 23 North Little Rock.
Call 3 miles to the west. Entering a downwind.
All right. North Little Rock, Cherokee 123 Juliet Charlie. We are 3 miles to the west, entering a crosswind or downwind, runway 23 North Little Rock.
Good. And
7348 Juliet, I got requests. Go ahead and make this a touch and go, and also turn on your landing light.
Heard, thank you.
well, that's not us. That's the
No, that's not.
Put your 6 right base, runway
So,
82.
I was going to say our landing light is on because I wanted it on because it's so hazy out here.
our airport's right here, so we need to turn. We need to make a left turn here.
No, we're landing 2-3, so that's the.
Oh, this is the
we're
one.
making a right downwind.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're set up perfectly right now.
All right. So we probably need to pull the power back.
Yeah, you can slow us down, get yourself set up, get everything smooth.
All right. So pull back to
Yeah.
1700.
Just keep our altitude here though. Run your checklist.
All right. So fuel pump is on. Carpeet's off.
Keep our altitude, nose up a little bit.
Okay.
North Little Rock, Cherokee 123 Juliet Charlie. Right downwind 23, North Little Rock.
So we need to maintain 1,600 feet.
Yeah, maintain 1,600. And we're about to parallel our touchdown point, our perch point.
All right. So I'm gonna pull power back to 1,700, and we're not in the white arc, so we need to put some.
Yeah, you are. This little extension right here is wide arc.
So first notch of flaps.
Yep.
All right. So we need to make our turn to the.
Now keep going just a little bit more.
Okay.
Get us to 70 knots here. Nose up a little bit.
All right. We beam the numbers.
We're
at 45 degrees.
Clear right.
Clear right.
Juliet, I am turning crosswind of 23 North Little Rock.
Over those flaps.
Second notch of flaps.
North Little Rock, Cherokee 123 Juliet Charlie, right base 23. Full stop, North Little Rock.
We're a little bit low.
You're fast. Slow us down.
Slow us down. So we
Pull
got
that
some airspeed.
power. Yeah.
We got some airspeed. Pitching for 70.
All right, nose down, because you're going to go past your airspeed. There you
Okay.
go. Catch that airspeed as it's coming down, so nose up just a little bit.
Okay.
Drop that last notch of flaps.
All right, last notch of flaps.
Drop that last notch of flaps.
All right, last notch of flaps.
Take the base to final call and push some power in. We're sinking.
All right. North Little Rock, Cherokee 123 Juliet Charlie, turning right base, North Little Rock.
Final 2-3, North Little Rock. Nose up, bleed that airspeed off. We're going to have a bad landing. There you go. As you're catching, yeah, good. Now start feeding that power in, because you can feel like, yeah, we're
Sinking
sinking
really fast.
Yeah, so pull it back just a little bit.
Okay.
Nose up, bleed that airspeed off.
Okay.
Less power.
North Little Rock traffic, this is 348
Power.
Juliet. I am
Power.
turning
Power.
right base of
Less
23
power.
North Little Rock.
All right, pulling the power back.
Good.
All right. Starting our flare.
Good. That was really good. Right rudder.
Ooh, buddy.
Focus on the, yeah, there you go.
All right, that felt better.
Good.
All right,
All right.
so fuel pump is,
Don't touch any of that. When we're doing a full stop, just focus on get
Okay.
us stopped here. Or anytime we're
this,
full
you want
stop,
to take this one?
let's go all the way down.
Okay.
Let's go all the way down. And North Little Rock, Cherokee 123 Juliet Charlie. We're going to roll it out here a little ways, and then we'll exit as soon as possible on 23. You always want to let them know when we're on the runway like that, because he's on downwind or something right now. I heard her do something.
Okay.
Get us off the runway, and then don't do anything until you get off the runway completely, and just stop after this line over here.
Okay.
And North Little Rock, Cherokee 123 Juliet Charlie, clear of 23, North Little Rock. Do your after landing checklist.
Carb still off, fuel pump's off. All right.
Once again, you did that landing all on your own, but it was good. All right, so after landing checklist is complete.
Yep.
All right, you're to
North
taxi.
Little Rock, number 31269 entering runway 23, going to remain in pattern North Little Rock.
All right, I've got the controls for now.
All right, your controls.
That was really good, man. One thing I mentioned it briefly, but when we landed in the crosswind there, first we landed in the very slightest crosswind right there. And then you didn't put the wing down, so we got this weird looking like thing right here.
Right.
So even after you touch down, you still have to account for the crosswind, and that's all it was.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, it was an awesome landing for. And I think that's three
Yeah.
landings in a row by yourself. So
Did you touch the controls at all in the last one?
I might have touched the rudders a tiny bit, because after we touched down, I definitely touched the rudders, because I was getting a little concerned that we might get into a pilot-induced oscillation, but yeah, it worked out, and I thought it was really good. Good job, man.